Oh,
Hi. So sorry for the confusion.
it's totally fine. It's been
Yeah.
a confusing day for everyone today.
And in continual befuddlement, a slight befuddlement, remind me what we're talking about today.
I'm just gonna do a little interview for my
Oh,
my
that's right.
class.
Excellent. Okay.
Yeah. And is it all right if I also get the recording as well? Just because he wants us to
Oh, yeah.
post it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's right. Okay. Good.
Awesome.
Hair looks okay. All right.
We all look great.
All right. Hey, Kat.
Well, I have just 10 questions, so nothing too major. But can you tell me about your career and how you arrived at your current position?
Sure. Well, I've been a voiceover artist for um, 25 years now. Started in 1995. Um, I am originally from Chicago. I studied theater at Northwestern. I also had a secret, like a parallel path of studying opera secretly. So I was a secret singer. Um, um, and let's see. So I graduated from Northwestern. I was doing regional Shakespeare. I was working at Second City in the box office and doing improv stuff there. Um, Working around town, doing all the things that you're supposed to do after you are, as a theater artist. Um, and my now husband, then boyfriend's best friend was a creative director, and he called one day and said, "Hey, I've got some spots for ballets that I'm working on. I think your voice would be great for them. Would you want to come in?" I was like, "Yeah, sure, no problem." And I left that. I was able to jump into that session um, with using the skills that I had, and I left that session going, that is exactly what I'm going to do, because it was just a moment where everything I had ever done as a performer suddenly was like, boom, that's it. And I got paid and I was eligible to join the union. And so that was the beginning. And then after that first job, I was like, how do I find out about this? And then I started my voiceover training in earnest. So, and then it just, I moved out to LA, probably, I don't know, within 6 months or so of that. And so I arrived in LA going, okay, what do you know? All the people that I knew from Second City, what do you know? Who do you know? And those are all like Steve Carell and Jane Lynch and Stephen Colbert and stuff like that. All the people that are like super giant, huge celebrities now. Yeah. So and then I did intense training, for about a year or so, year and a half of really focused training, and then it started to happen. And I was the voice of started to get like small campaigns and then bigger campaigns, Burger King, and I was the voice of Citibank for 7 years and have been the voice of Subaru for 8 years. And so, yeah, it's just kind of built and built and built. So,
Awesome.
10 more
Can you
questions.
just yeah? Can you describe your typical workday?
Yeah. Well, my typical work day as a voiceover artist is combined with my workday as an educator, right? So I have representation that my manager is based on the East Coast. So I'll start my day super early to make sure that any New York auditions are in 10 o'clock in New York is 7 o'clock here. So I usually start pretty early to make sure all of those auditions are in. And then I have several points during the day that I check in, because auditions come in throughout the day and they need to be addressed by certain times. So I have like little checkpoints, audition checkpoints. Yeah, so that I start the day early, get auditions in, and that could be for any variety of genres of voiceover that come in. I'm always flexible. Sessions always are first, that no matter what's, unless there's something like I really, really can't do it, anything else is changeable. So sessions become priority. I just actually went to my first session outside of my booth at a regular studio last week for the first time in like 7 months. So let's see what else. Yeah, so where I'm at, that it's mostly I have a rhythm, and I just keep the train keep the train moving. I also spend time organized, keeping things organized. I spend time like doing follow-up, with the people that I'm working with, marketing and keeping in contact. I'm very much involved in the voiceover community, so involved in things like that. And then I have my whole teaching schedule as well, which fills up pretty much most of the other moments. So yeah.
Awesome. What are the most exciting aspects of your job?
Always something different every day. Always requires bringing my full heart, my full brain, and my full spirit to everything that I do. I love, that thing that I said, that was like from the first time falling in love with the work, from the first session. It just takes every skill set that I have of, which was already the stuff that I love to do. So it's involved in that. I love being part of a collaborative effort. So every job, you're part of a team. And yeah, I'll do the little douchebag thing. I love getting paid money for what I do. I like making money doing what I love. So that's yeah, it's joyous. It's really joyous.
Yeah.
And then on the teaching side, I love watching the same sparks happen and accelerating it for other people.
That's awesome. Which aspects of your education or training made you more capable or marketable in this field?
Well, like I said, I was trained, I have a theater degree from Northwestern, and a lot of the skill sets of being a trained theater person apply to this. And I also was a trained singer, so I understood my instrument really, really well. And I think Northwestern's philosophy has a very much, which has become, really my philosophy, of the organic and the technical together. So in terms of that approach to how one approaches acting, I know that my training at Northwestern came a lot out of the tradition of interpreting literature. That was a big emphasis. So I know, like, the audiobook part of my career, I was like, oh, this is what we had for dinner at Northwestern every day. And just the love and joy of the word. And then also going back to that collaboration, improv plus singing plus theater training. I grew up in my dad's architecture firm. Not as an architect, but I grew up in an entrepreneurial business that was creative and collaborative and requires looking at the big picture and the smallest detail. So I think, yeah, I think those are all the things that come
Yeah.
together.
What advice would you give someone entering this field?
It's just like what we talk about in class. Nobody cares if you do it or not. It's okay. If you want to do it, you'll find a way. Approach it for a sustained, successful career, and approach it as part of your full, part of your complete breakfast, part of part of all the ways that you can be making money as a performer, looking at it as part of a whole. And recognizing it as a long, as a journey that will serve you as a performer and as a human for the long haul, and then just do the work.
Yeah.
And do the work and have fun and super play. Yeah. And
What
be
are
kind and thoughtful.
yeah. What are likely career paths for a person starting in your profession?
Well, there's so many different ways that one can be making money using their voice and being, doing voiceover. So, it really depends on what your voice is bringing, where that will serve, right? So there's the whole realm of commercials and all of the different kinds of commercials that there are. There's all aspects of narration. I've talked about audiobook narration, but there's corporate narration and training, e-learning, explainer videos, medical narration, all of those realms. Video games, animation, promo trailer, dubbing. there's so many different ways. So it really, my approach is think of yourself and train yourself as a mountaineer of being able to climb the mountain from sea level to summit of voiceover, and then see which path your voice takes you, and be able to do as much as you can and find where you love, right? Because if you don't like reading books, then don't do audiobooks.
Exactly. Yeah, I remember that we talked about it in class, but I had to ask for the whole assignment thing.
No worries.
What qualities make someone a star performer in this occupation?
That is what we talked about in the first class. Nimble-mindedness, being able to think fast, see things, find connections quickly. Open-heartedness, being able to really connect with what things mean to you. Because the foundation principle that we work from, as you know, is that voiceover is communication, and communication is an exchange of vibrational energy, right? So how you have to be connected and true to your heart with that. So you need to be open to possibilities. You need to be ready and willing to joyously do the work that's required. Consistency, and having the vision and trusting that it can happen. I think those are things.
What do you find the most satisfying about your job? Everything, Kat. Everything.
It's really a job I highly recommend. I can do it from my home or from anywhere in the world. I literally have been in Milan, Italy, oh, I got to find a studio. Hold on a second. It really does require everything as a performer and as a human to figure out, what does each piece of copy require. So you're always figuring something out and then bringing yourself and bringing it to life, and getting paid well, and getting paid consistently for doing good work and being parts of things. It's also really, really satisfying, when you realize that your voice in the world is making an impact in whichever way, that you're part of making an impact. So, yeah.
What do you find the least satisfying about your job?
There's moments. It has like anything else in life and the performing arts, it has ups and downs. So you always have to be ready to roll and adjust and adapt, which isn't that bad. And in fact, a lot of what we do at the dojo is so you're strengthened and adaptable and in the moment to make those switches. Um, say the question again, like what you don't like.
Yeah,
Uh,
like the what you find least satisfying.
um, I'm trying to like I'm thinking about it. Like there's things that like you know you reprioritize everything. You know, everyone
Yeah,
around my house is like, all right, I'm recording. Quiet, quiet, you quiet.
yeah.
So you know it takes priority, but there's something okay about that. Um,
I mean, if there isn't any, that's totally fine too.
yeah, I mean you know, even the things that are hard and challenging about it, I find satisfying. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
I find them good. Um, and one of the things that I find most satisfying is that it's a group of really, really supportive, collaborative, generous-hearted people that voiceover people are that. So if something isn't working, there's usually a bunch of people that you can come together and you're like, hey man, what can we do to make this better? And then that happens. So I don't know. I recommend it. I recommend
I
voiceover.
also recommend voiceover. It's always fun to do. And the last question is, what's the biggest challenge you've overcome?
On a daily basis or have ever overcome.
Well, let's say whatever you've overcome.
Okay. Um, Interesting. The biggest challenge actually became the biggest one of the biggest opportunities because it was actually the VO Dojo came out of a moment in my career. Like I said, it was just like, oh, I found it. And then I went, hey, what do I need to do? What do I need to do? What do I need to do? And for many, 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 many years, bigger, bigger, bigger campaigns, it was just like, okay, what's next? And now it's bigger, and now it's better, and now it's better. About well, the dojo's about 10 years old. About 10 years ago, it was another global economic situation. And I had a sort of opposite perfect storm happen in that an economic recession hit. One of my campaigns that had been gigantic for many years was reaching its natural life cycle. I was 7 months pregnant and had changed agencies. So there's a lot of just different things that were different in the mix. And for the first time in my career, the next thing didn't happen. Like this didn't end, and then a bigger thing came. And I found that I had um, um, uh, no capacity to deal with that. I was like, no, 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 it just goes up and gets bigger. So I had to deal with the emotional part of that, of, you know, of my inner workings of like feeling, oh gosh, I'm a failure, of, you know, just feeling and then the financial reality of like, whoa, this can go away in a heartbeat. Like, whoa, this is not, you know. So so it was so that was probably the scariest time and the most challenging time. But out of that challenge, as I looked at the situation and sort of like, wait a minute, what's going on here, come back, it was out of that, bringing myself out of that. I had a little scarlet hit. I will never put myself in that situation, and I never want any voiceover performer to be surprised by that, right?
Yeah,
So that's where that actually is out of my exploration of how to get out of, be able to pull out of any situation that may come, and have the skills and have the internal strength and clarity that the VO Dojo was created. So
awesome.
yeah, so
Well, that's really impressive. Really, yeah, that's good. That's great.
I like Kanga and Rue are in your background.
Oh yeah, bought them at Disney. Now they're chilling in my room.
That's
But yeah, that's all the questions really. But thank you so much for answering all of them. I really appreciate it.